Hello everyone and welcome to our show. Today we discuss about topics SEO, digital marketing, and it's interesting that I rolled the topic TBD to be determined. I'm excited to discuss this topic with Itay. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a big pleasure. I check out your profile. You have extended experience. I'm excited to learn more about that. Before we start, just tell more about yourself, experience, background, and why you decided to take this topic.
So I started my way over 27 years ago. I was laid off from where I was working, and I had to figure out what I'm going to do. And I just found the online very intriguing. I think online is one of the most, the internet is one of the most interesting thing we can ever find. And I just started as a no experience SEO. I don't even think it was called SEO back then, but we
Mhm.
started just building websites and starting to optimize one way or another over through the years. 27 years doing SEO, email marketing. I run my own newsletter for online entrepreneurs and digital marketers and affiliate marketers. I have my own conference, international conference, which is called DMI Expo, and we build more and more websites over the internet just to make money online. That's a great thing.
Yeah, love it, love it. And you mentioned about newsletters. It's interesting that I check out this new feature on LinkedIn and got 30,000 subscribers after publishing one simple article. I think when new features are coming, that's great time. To jump in the first stage, and you can get a lot of subscribers. I know it's hard, to get 30,000 subscribers in email list because you need to create so valuable content, give a strong reason, to subscribe to your newsletter. But on LinkedIn, it's possible to do it without any effort if you have your audience. So yeah, just want to share about that. And
No, thank you for sharing. It's amazing, but it's all about some people are early adapters, some
mhm.
people late adapters, some people are in the middle. It's either you jump in all. It's depending what it is. I always say if it's something that it's quick to test, do it. Like you said, oh, it's instant.
Yeah.
If it's a longer thing, a longer play, I would wait just a bit, learn what's going on, and then take my shot in a better position than the saying. I don't want to be the one that testing things which are huge, not small things, and then figure
Mhm.
out what it is. Let them people do it, and then we'll do more money altogether. It's best way to go
Yeah,
for me.
exactly. And it's interesting that I think I failed many times with new features. It's really hard to count how many times I failed. But when you're failing, you can get something that works for you. So today on this feature, it's not hard to get subscribers with newsletters. So just use on LinkedIn. I don't know how long it will work, but it works today. Okay. Tell more about SEO. Is it too late today to start SEO? Because I often get this question. It's overwhelmed. 1.8 billion websites online. If you type on Google any keyword, we can get a million results, even for long tail keywords. How to compete with them? And is it too late, or we still have a room to start new websites?
Wow, this is like a big question. Like you, here's the thing. Um, I thought about it many times. At the end of the day, let's talk just about Google or any specific search engine, but Google.
Hmm.
So, and any keyword that you select, there's 10 results, right? That's it. 10 results, and if there's advertising, they're on top of that. And if there's Google Maps or whatever, Google Traveling, whatever it is, it's on top. So you're pushing down. So although you have only 10 spots, it's even worse when you compete with Google Maps, for example. So I always said to myself, listen, if you're not in the top 10, then you basically screwed. It's a
Hmm.
problem. How can you get traffic? But there, when you think about it, and we see it more and more as we test it today, when you're talking about being first position or first page, the first 10 results, it could be, like you said, there's so many keywords, long term, long tail, and short tail, and whatever it is. But there's also the element of location. So it could be, and let's say we'll talk about the US, for example. So maybe when you sit in, I don't know, Florida, and you type whatever podcast for entrepreneurs, whatever, you number uh, 11 or 12 of 30. But maybe if you search for it in New York State or New York City or whatever it is, you could be number one. So when you think about it, it's not that Google or any search engine, they put you just in, when they say you're number one, you're number one. That's it. Everywhere, everyone. No, 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 no. It doesn't work like that. It's more complex than we think in the past. Maybe in the past it worked like that, way in the beginning. But these days, absolutely no. It's different locations, and we learn it every day. We see the traffic, so sometimes we say, "Oh, we're number one," but we're not in the location we actually wanted to. So it become more location, geolocation, and stuff like that. So going back, you say, is it worth going into SEO? So here's the funny thing: when I look at the SEO 27 years, over the 27 years, yeah, there are lots of things that changed, but what we call the core SEO, the basic SEO, is still the same thing. You mentioned long tail. Long tail, we're talking about it for years, years and years. Most people didn't use it because everyone want to be, top for whatever it is, buy something, okay? Buy a HP computer. Yeah, but like you said, there's buy HP computer deal today or whatever it is, or free shipping, whatever. It was there all the time, so you can definitely use it. We still see, I think I don't think all of our businesses are built, and I currently have like about 700 different websites.
No,
All of
a
them.
lot.
Yeah, we are in a rate. We're building now about 200 plus websites per month. So we started slow. We perfect the system. It's not. We don't do. By the way, I don't use AI. We build it like it's just a smart process. Two people. We build over 200 websites uh, manually by ourselves. But the nice thing, what I wanted to say is that it's all about SEO, and we still see traffic. All our businesses and websites, like I said, 700, are getting only organic traffic. Well, some of it is direct, but we don't buy traffic. We never buy traffic. It's built, and we get from Google, Bing, Microsoft, and then Yahoo and all the rest of the search engines. So should you go into that? Absolutely. In more competitive keywords, yeah, you'll have to invest more money, more time. Sometimes SEO is not the right for different niches. Some niches you prefer to buy traffic. It's easier and maybe cheaper, or you have other alternative, but it's still the one of the best way to get traffic, SEO.
Love it. Can you tell how to manage 700 websites? For example, I have a team, and we manage two websites. We have Ukrainian website, English website. That's it. It's hard to manage two websites, to update content, to create new content. I don't know, check out bugs, and we have a team. Can you tell how to manage 700 websites? It's interesting.
So you want me to share all my secrets right now?
Yeah, audience loves it.
It's two people. We are actually understaffed. It's always the tricky thing for an online entrepreneur, any entrepreneur, but obviously online entrepreneur, that our core business is being able to generate traffic from SEO and selecting keywords and stuff like that and topics. Do you want to build a team? And if you build a team, how you protect your assets and knowledge, it's a big thing. It's for every company, but I think if you're a big or a company that is investing a lot of money in buying links or backlinks, which I'm not saying is a good or bad thing. We can talk about it in a second if you want. But if you invest lots of money, it's not like an employee can go and duplicate what you're doing. It's not that simple. When you build a website, and our website are more like the affiliate website, it's more tricky to look at hey, how can I build a system or a team that actually can manage it without and protecting our knowledge. That's a tricky thing for us. So we're still keeping it intact for people. which makes it very, very challenging. And the way we use different systems for updates, for wherever we can. There's a great book I recommend any business person to read. It's called The Goal.
Mm-hmm.
The Goal. It was written by Dr. Eliyahu Goldratt. It's a business novel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's related to the internet. Actually, there are more books for that. Great book. And the nice thing, they're talking about a factory. So there's a factory, and you love it. There's what they call bottlenecks. So they have different machines, and then there's a bottleneck in one machine. They try to solve it, and they solve it in one. And then the bottleneck appears in a different machine, and then they solve it there, and then it moves to another one, and then it moves to another one. So that's what we experience over time as we grow. We see that we put some systems in place to enable us to do faster thing, and then we find out that the bottleneck moves to the next machine or to the next step or to the next stuff. We do lots of content curation. Obviously, it's working. It's legal. You do it the right way. You give the credit to whom is credit for, and if you do the right work, you also get backlinks, which are completely organic. You don't need to actually pay for it. I was mentioning earlier, do you want to talk about buying links? There's nothing wrong with buying links, don't get me wrong. It's a big business, and it's can bring you great results if you have the budget and if you want to do it. But you can, but there's no, when you say free links, so someone tells me, hey, I don't do that. I write guest posts. Okay, so I go to a blog and I write my content, and in return I get a backlink. But writing a blog post costs you money. Even if you do it yourself, it's your time, right? So it costs money to do it and communicate and do that. Or you can go and buy. So it's a link. So everything. There's nothing free. Someone think, oh, it's free on the internet. Nothing is free. I don't know what's free on the internet. There's nothing free, right? So it's all about building the right infrastructure and systems to enable you to manage many websites. My goal is to get to end the year with 2,000 websites, and the next year hopefully we'll go to the 5K. It's a great model. People can do it, but it's just about the business model.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if it's a business, we're affiliates, so we build more and more websites. I call it lean and mean. So I prefer to do very fast website, very focused website, versus just spreading around and putting so much content and writing more and more and more, while most of the content never ever even being indexed. So I just say, just go with the flow, just do it fast. Again, that's for the affiliate businesses. For people who do SEO for the actual businesses, you should invest in your content, in your model, in your backlinks, in everything by the book, because it's rewarding.
Yeah, love it. I think, for example, when someone asked me how many times to post on social media, I reply to them 10 times a day. They, whoa, no, how to create 10 posts a day? It's possible to create 1 to post a week. No way, guys. No, it's possible to do 10 times a day. I usually do it. Even more, I can comment 100 times to other posts. I can film videos. I can write articles, and it's the process. I agree with you. If you have the process, everything is possible. Just to set up goals, go ahead step by step to these goals. When you can achieve it, and it's not about reducing quality. I think quantity, if you provide quantity, you can improve quality step by step as well, because quality is the measurement from quantity. When you, for example, like great sportsmen, they train every single day, even 3 times a day, because if I play football 1 time a week, I can't be a great football player. But if I play 3 times a day, to spend more time, possible I can go ahead with that if I love what I do. Yeah. So yeah, I agree with you. Love the process. Can you tell about creating the right content strategy? For example, if we have a new project in very competitive niche like Amazon, many other websites, Walmart, how to create content strategy for a new website? Because I often see when webmasters are chasing high volume. They just open SEMrush, Ahrefs, find high volume keywords, and create content for them. Is it good idea for a new website, and how to create the right strategy?
Okay, I want to. I'll answer that, and I'll also refer to what you said about the system. So first
Mm-hmm.
of all, one of the great things I believe in, from whenever I remember
Mm-hmm.
myself, is about people. Not necessarily
Mm-hmm.
about team, but people. So if you
Mm-hmm.
connect, I always say if you have good connections, you don't need friends. Okay, so you understand what I mean? Like, and I was able to build a network of good friends, colleagues from the industry over time. That when I have a question for yourself, like you said, okay, new website, how do you suggest to run with it? I just go one on one with 2 3 relevant friends. I share everything. I put everything on the table. They see everything. I don't disclose any. I don't hold anything, and I just share with them and I get their opinion. So they are helping me to get very fast to the right strategy for anything I do. So I always recommend have, especially in SEO, right, when it's very evolving, lots of things are happening. Then I have a couple of good friends that are like extreme SEOers that they test everything. They do lots of things in the in the most competitive e-commerce and gambling industry. So it's very easy for me to I share, they share, and we progress. So that's a
Mm-hmm.
great technique. The industry is not moved by companies or businesses. It's moved by people
Mm-hmm.
like you and me, right? So this podcast because of humans, not because of computer. Yeah, it helps, but so I always say if you need a strategy or anything for anything, you should have good friends over time, build it, invest in that, and that would be a great reward for you over time. Saying that, you were asking specifically about content strategy, so obviously I said I'll ask my friends, but and consult with them with and put if it's a specific different thing that I did before, I haven't done before, but I would say I always like to go both ways. So here's the thing. So let's say you say buy HP computer, okay? There's so many competitors there. Yeah, your article will get um, exposures. If you look at the Google console, then you'll see exposures, 10 million, 5 million, 1. It doesn't matter, but you don't get actual clicks or traffic. It doesn't really help you. So I always love to have both. So I would try first of all to build the articles, even if I go to buy HP computer, I would inside have enough long tail keywords, and I'll also build from scratch content which is also based on specific long tail keywords. That will enable me to reduce the risk of just you know rolling the dice on saying, oh, you know what, either I get the short tail or I'm lost. No, I'm not there. I prefer to go both ways, and that's always proved itself that we can sometimes we get the short tail, sometimes we don't, but the long tail we always get something, and that increases the traffic over time. And once you see that it starts to pick up, you start to get backlinks, and then suddenly your short tail articles start to get attraction because your website gets a DR, DA, whatever you want to call it, the rankings over time. So it's always good to invest in both. Should it be long, short? You know what? I don't think many people reading long text.
Mm-hmm.
Our span attention, we have all whereas the devices, it's these these stupid things that we have all the time, which is a good thing, right? By the way, right? To make it shut down, right? Which I forgot. But we have this stupid thing that always take our attention, everyone. And people read here, so you need to read it, and it's small. I would say make it shorter than longer, 7,000, 10,000. So some people say, hey, let's have 10,000 keywords, words article. When you do these type of articles, the reason you do it is in order to get backlinks. So it's like an extensive article. You expect that good websites will say, "Whoa, this is like a good one," and they'll link to that. It's a strategy, but writing something like that, it's a lot of resources. So there are ways actually to overcome them. All the listicles, the way that people say, "Oh, the 25 ways to do blah blah blah," and then you have it just one, two, three, four, five, and each one of them is actually brought from a different place. So you're actually doing some kind of curation in some way, curation of content. So that's a way to overcome that, but still, the bulk content, that you need to do, it should be like shorter. I would say, mm, 12 to 20, 1200 to 2500 words. It's enough. You should have also what we call the pillar content. So just to explain to the listeners who don't know what pillar, it's pillar, or you can call it the hub or the top content. These are the content that's actually your best content. So all the content you build through the website usually should serve these ones. They'll get the backlinks from most of the pages. They'll get the backlinks from outside that you generate by approaching people or whatever means that you do. You would prefer to do the backlinks there. Homepage will connect to these pages, and over time, these pages could be the ones that are making you the most money or bring you the most customers, leads, whatever your business is. Hopefully,
Mhm.
that answered your question.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's one of the approaches. Yeah, especially about pillar pages. I love the strategy because yeah, all these pages can serve to some specific pages that will bring traffic, and some of them can. I don't know, like to create linkable content when other websites can link to this content. It works well as well. So yeah, why not? Uh, can you tell about buying links? You mentioned about that. Uh, Google is against buying links. We know about that, but I think all link builders are playing this game because it's hard to create only links with white hat SEO. Even, for example, I remember Neil Patel, Brian Dean shared that they use only white hat link building, but they write guest post. They did it. It's not white hat link building. Can you tell how to buy links today in the right way? Because we have a lot of obsolete strategies like PBN. Probably some PBNs can work. It depends, of course. I know some specialists who can get high results with that if they know how to use the strategy. Yeah, sure, why not? Just use it. But what your strategies you can share with our audience and how to use them in the way when Google will boost ranking for your website, not punish, like with penguin filter.
Okay, so first of all, the people that say they don't buy or you shouldn't buy, when you have an article on Huffington Post
Mhm.
or Financial Times, many times it's paid content. And yeah, it's a no follow link. That's okay. Google knows what's no follow, do follow, but a no follow link from Huffington Post is powerful. So
Mhm.
you can call it wherever you want to call it. Eventually, people do pay for links in one way or another. Um, I can give you from my past experience, but I did it for a short time. We don't buy links. To be honest with you,
Mhm.
we never pay for even a single link. It's not
Mhm.
that I don't believe in it. I just we were able to be blessed being able to generate links organically.
Mhm.
And you remember my previous what I said about friends. So having good friends, sometimes people say,
Yeah.
"Hey, you run the DMI Expo, I have a conference," and then suddenly you see people are advertising about it and writing and sending clients and stuff like. And they say, "How can it be that everyone supports you?" And said, friends of mine, I built a relationship over 27 years. It makes sense, we help each other. So going back to backlinks, that's cool as well, at least to get the first initial few links. If you're good friends, It's always a great thing to get from them. Again, that's on a lower level. A lower level, not in in the meaning of quality, but it's on people. When it's a corporate, right? You sit in a corporate, you don't go say, "Oh, we're corporate America and we have whatever. We are HP. We're doing SEO and we're finding friends to do it." I'm just saying in a lower interaction. Okay, in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Going and buy links, you can never really know unless you experience over many years which link works and which doesn't. There's no like a clear cut. Well, of course, Huffington Post maybe, but these links are costing maybe 2-3K, and most people will never, businesses or companies will never SEOs buy their backlinks. Most, we get ton of emails asking us if we can do sell links. Oh, it's $10, $15. We don't do it anyway, but we don't buy and we don't sell it anyway. $15, it's low quality. When someone offers you a link for $15, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
What's the real value of that? Now, I'm not saying if someone says, "Hey, pay me $1,000," it's a good value. I'm just saying you need to evaluate it. Um, the best way to go with that is look at what other people do. It's a great strategy. Listen, this is really perfect thing. Mimic other websites that you see that they're doing really well. See where they're getting the links. Some of the links you'll be surprised. You'll say, "Oh, I see. I can have here a backlink, a quality one, which is actually free, organically or whatever it is." And then you can find places that say it costs money, but you know that they're already there, so it's probably worth for you to be there. Now, you should definitely not go and see, other than all the measurements, the DA traffic, make sure that the traffic is connected to where you need your audience. So, for example, if you buy a link for a website and let's say it has 100,000 visitors per month from, let's say, I don't know, in Turkey, for example,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but the website is a US audience, you confusing Google. I prefer to avoid links out of the geographic area of the website. Obviously, you can't really control it, right? Because let's say, someone from, I'm located in Israel, someone from Israel wants to link to a website in the US, mine, I can't really say no, right? It's his prerogative. He can do it. I can't
Mm-hmm.
hold it. But I would never buy it. So when you buy it, you prefer to buy from someone, if your website is in Turkey, buy from mainly websites that have the main traffic is Turkey, just to make sure that Google says, okay, the link is more making sense. You should buy from website that the audience and the type of traffic and topics is the same. So buying from PBNs or link, article farms and stuff like that, it's a blurb of information. So you're not getting the full capacity of the link because, well, no one really knows what's the formula behind the links, not even the Google people, but behind the link should be like some logic. So that's why the gambling people prefer to buy links first from gambling websites. Obviously, eventually they buy from others, but the core thing is for them. So if you do e-commerce, you should buy from e-commerce and expand from that. Don't buy all of them all together, buy them over time. Google doesn't expect and knows that you should get like, oh, 100 links the first month or whatever, the first day, week. You need to build it over time. I would avoid VPNs for sure. Well,
Mm-hmm.
wherever it is low quality, don't waste time. It's a waste. There are lots of cool techniques to get great backlinks. Just to give you an example, again, it's not the I wouldn't say it's like the top quality, but the DR is really high. So some website you can open a profile, and in your profile you say, hey, I'm whatever. Here's my name. This is what I do, and here's my website. And it's a public content profile. And if you put the URL, you get to do. Sometimes you get to follow for, I don't know, DR 80,
Mm-hmm.
85, 90 for free. Now you can say, oh, it's not 100% targeted. That's true because it's a profile and Google knows it's a profile. But still, it's a DR 80, 90. It's better than having a VPN that, think about it. The website was designed to sell links. So what's really the value of the website? And if it's crashed, and Google finds everyone eventually. If people think that he doesn't, the big brother finds us everywhere. It's not, by the way, it's not illegal in the sense of worldwide. It's legal to buy links. It's not like um, something you can be, go to jail. But in Google terms or search engine terms, you're not allowed to do that. So you should be very careful on what you're doing, because you can be hurt if you get buy links from, lots of links from bad places. Now someone will say, oh, but if someone wants to hurt me, he goes to VPN and buys a link and so Google doesn't really hurt, penalize you for one or two or even 10 links. But if your method is buying bad links or creating bad links, yeah, the end of the day, it will come eventually. Maybe not today,
Mhm.
maybe in a year. And I know people sometimes see a website that their graph goes like this, like in crazy links, and like in 1 month they go from 0 to 1 million in links and traffic. And I want to say, oh, I want to do like that. That's amazing. But if you follow up over a few months, you'll see that eventually they crash back. Google finds them. So if you're in the, let's make a run for it, maybe it's good. But if you're for the long term, and you were mentioning earlier, only 10 slots for internet that's growing, the searches are growing, the keywords are not growing the same pace the searches are growing. So in order to be on the top, you need to be as clean as you can. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do black hat or gray, stand on the line. That's okay. I'm just saying the basic thing is working if you do it clean and neat.
Yeah, awesome. I think Big Brother can lead to Google prison, penguin prison, where you spend time with
Exactly.
penguins without traffic. Okay.
Exactly.
Can you tell about building your network? You mentioned that you need to have friends, can you tell your approaches? For example, if you started, let's imagine you started today without any friends, without any networking, and you need to build it. According to your experience, what would you do?
Okay, so the best, if you're talking about the best way, is offline. It's not online.
Mhm. Mhm.
There's no substitute for, we're talking great. When we meet in person, we have a coffee or the beer or whatever, lunch, breakfast, whatever it is. It takes our relationship from here to here. So that's
Mhm.
obviously the personal touch relation, which was hurt, the past 2 years, 2.5 years. Most of the conferences related one, we were going online, which prevented us to do that. But eventually go to conferences, meet the people, um, and just interact over time. It takes time. It always say it takes 27 years to have 27 years experience.
Mhm.
This is how it works. So relationships, the same thing. You need to build them over time. I never go to a relationship and say, "Oh, I'm the stronger, I'm the better," which I don't even think I'm the stronger and better. But I always come in. I'm humble and say, "Listen, if I can help you in any way, and obviously, once we finish it, I'll tell you the same. If I can help you in any way, just reach out whenever it is. It doesn't really matter. If I can help you, I will. I don't expect anything. Is it a karma thing? I'm not a big karma person, but karma is very good as well. But I always say, you help people. Some people you help more. Some people you help less. You do expect to build over time some kind of a exchange relationship. It's not oh, I brought you $1. I'm expecting dollar, dollar, dollar. I'm putting it in monetization, but I meant, okay, I'm helping you with something I expect immediately no, it's over time. We'll help each other, and that's amazing. That's why if I need anything, I just just go online and reach out today to my network, and I get help. But it's built from offline. We go to conferences in Europe, in the US. I just travel and meet the people. I love meeting the people and build a relationship. Now, that was the offline side, right? And also, there's one more thing. There's sometimes local meetups. So you should look at their website probably for calling meet. There's a meetup.com, I think, or you should find where you can find local for your SEO or for your entrepreneur or for whatever it is. You'll find for sure groups for that. When you go online, yeah. So there's so many ways. Forums, obviously, although I try to avoid to be a forum. You can learn a lot, lots of content, but it's also people are, sometimes are blabbing too much. You're wasting your time. I use LinkedIn a lot. So I have like
Mhm.
30,000 followers on LinkedIn. It's built over time and it's very powerful. Like the other day, I needed something from a specific person. I actually wasn't connected. I just clicked connect. I didn't even send any message, and he connected. Then I asked what I needed, and he did more than I can ever expected on the spot. So he took me from here to here like in a second. And the profile needs to look obviously professional. You need to have some. You can go and see in my LinkedIn type as at LinkedIn, but you can see that I have how do they call it, recommendations or whatever they call it. I forgot
Mhm.
already. What's the name of how they call it on the profile? But you build it over time. You ask people, right? So I can go, hey, say, can you please? And it's called the recommendations. There's endorsement, skills. Use it, build it, so it looks impressive. If it's impressive,
Mhm.
and again, don't lie, but if it's built right, then you'll get more people to help you. You'll get more connections, and just chat with them and say, I'm looking, just to connect with the right people to share over time. It's okay to say I'm in a certain level and I'm looking, one of the things we were talking about newsletters. So one of the things, the Morning Dough has almost 19,000 subscribers right now, and it's all organic. We didn't do anything. It's like really, we don't touch it at all. And we had someone coming with a list of 100,000 people that wanted to do like a cross promotion, which is really cool, right? A great way to get subscribers. And we just came, it was very obviously I'm smaller, but over time, I'll grow, right? And we're building relationships, so it makes sense. And if someone comes to me and say, hey, I have 5K, I won't say, oh, you're 5 and 20, go to hell, right? I'll say,
Mhm.
hey, if it makes sense, if we have good audience to each other, I'm willing to help other people. Over time, people help me, your name goes forward. It's just it has to be fun, right? We work online. I was trying to explain to my daughter eventually. We're like we take content and we publish it. If you look at SEO, right, it's the strategies, but eventually we create content, we put online, and we hope that we get traffic. This is the core thing that we do. It has to be fun, because if we're
Mhm.
just stuck in front of writing content or managing someone to write and put keywords, it becomes like a very boring job. So the way to make it happen, more interesting, is communicate with people, is learn, is helping people build a community. It's over time, right? You're working now in a specific company or you have a specific business, but who knows where you'll be in 2, 3, 5 years. But definitely SEO people are very demanded, and it's growing. I see some companies have VP search. Well, they have VP search for paid, but they also have VPs for SEO, because they understand the
Mhm.
value of SEO. It's
Yeah.
remarkable. This is really a great opportunity. So just to summarize, I would recommend to go to events, meet people, reach out to people. If someone wants to reach out to me, they will find me online, obviously. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's all about helping each other, build your online network, and always, but don't be always needed. So don't approach people and say, hey, I need help right away. If
Mhm.
unless it's a must, right? If it's up, you can always say, listen, I'm building a relationship. There are a few things I do need help, but I don't want to, let's build a relationship. I always ask first, what can I do for you?
Mhm.
Whatever
Yeah,
it is. When I meet people,
exactly.
how can I help you? When I meet
Mhm.
people in conferences, usually in conference, when you do online, it's a little bit more direct, but on conference, how, we talk about, so we end the conversation after maybe 10, 15, 20, whatever. So do you know how I can help you? Sometimes they say, I have an idea. Someone say, I don't know, I'll think about it. And usually they always say the same back, or they say, let's think about it. You shared what you do, I shared what I do. Let's think about it. Let's communicate tomorrow or when we go back. And it's if you have good people around you, you'll succeed.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, awesome. Can you tell how often do you go to conferences? I mean, like per year, for example.
So there's pre COVID and post COVID, right?
Yeah, let's
Uh,
post COVID today.
Yeah, yeah. No, well, no. If I look before, the last conference I actually attended was in January 2020. So it's
Mhm.
two
Yeah.
years and a half. That was the last
Mhm.
time I went on a plane. Before that, I would go to almost every other month the conference.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
it's a
in
lot.
Israel, so we would fly to Vegas, 28 hours door to door, New York, Bangkok, Europe, different countries in Europe. I even sometimes flew to Europe just to meet these colleagues and friends. It's not that depending where you are in the world, it's not that complicated. You a few $100 and you're on a plane to anywhere, and it's a business trip. So you also take time to sit. It's a business expense, but it helps your business. But I do try to get at least 4 or 5 times. I was able to go to conferences. That's the minimum, the bigger one. In terms of during the COVID, obviously, like I said, I haven't left anywhere. And I think our event is in this November, the DMI Expo. So probably from January, I will start to travel again. To be honest with you, I think I'm the only one. Well, I'm the only one in my house. I have 4 kids and my wife. We're all vaccinated. They all got the COVID. I was the only one they didn't. So I was able to be, to be a Teflon. It didn't stuck to me. So when they were sick, I was in lockdown. So I closed myself in the room, and they were in the house. So now my goal is now to start going out of the house and travel probably from January. Again, it will be 4 or 5 times a year. You know what? At least go 2 times a year, because once a year it's a very long time. You can't really um, sharpen and maintain the relationship if you see them only once a year. You need to build it, right? The first you meet someone for the first time, the next time in a year. So yeah, try to do it as much as you can. Definitely.
Yeah, love it, love it. Yeah, thanks for taking your time, for sharing all your valuable insights. Tell our audience how they can reach out to you, learn more about you, follow you. Yeah, I know about LinkedIn. Share other ways.
Yeah, so the simplest way is there's the Morning Dough, morningdough.com, which probably there will be somewhere linked there later on.
Yeah.
That's my newsletter, and if you reply, eventually it goes to me personally. So don't worry, it's me actually writing it. It's not someone else. That's the beauty of that. And also there's the conference dmiexpo.com, which also you can reach out through the email and LinkedIn and Facebook. Wherever it is, I'm a reachable person. Just communicate. If I can help anyone, I'll always do that if you need anything.
Okay, guys, you can find all these links in the description below. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify. Thanks again for your time. A big pleasure. Love it. Valuable. Welcome back anytime, to share more valuable insights. And see you next time.
Thank you, Anatoly, for having me. I appreciate it.